Hey guys, this is Tim and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as tonight was night 2 of WWE SummerSlam. Now, I'm just going to get this out of the way before I say anything else. I like that Brock's back. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Brock Lesnar, fuck that. Why is Brock back? And I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's shocking. That's cool. For me, I've always been a Brock Lesnar fan. I can separate the wrestler from the real person. I can separate what you do in the ring and entertaining us compared to what you do in your free time, what you do outside of pro wrestling, whether it's good, bad, skeezy, or what. So for me, as a fan, just putting on my fan cap here, I like that Brock's back. I don't know if you guys saw the photo I posted on social media. I legit had goosebumps when Brock walked out. Like, legit goosebumps. It was wild. And so I'll talk more about Brock being back and so forth throughout this review, but I wanted to get that out of the way right at the jump. As a fan, I like the Brock's back because I've always been a Brock fan. Brock's always been one of the guys that's always interested me and drawn me to him because he's so different than everybody else. And I know a lot of people are like, what? Why this? I know like Mick Foley's son, Dewey, was not happy with this. I saw a lot of other tweets about people unhappy that they brought Brock back. Say that 5 times fast. So, yeah, a lot to get into, a lot to talk about. Night 2 significantly better than night 1. I think I enjoyed everything except the cage match. Like, I was literally just pumped up for everything. Then the cage match is going on. About 2 minutes in, I'm not even paying attention, barely, just enough to get notes. I'm like, this is kind of boring. So we'll talk about everything that did go down. Triple H is speaking at the press conference right now, so I am putting on my headphones. I am slightly listening to that to see if they say anything there. But also, for some reason, my notes didn't open properly. Let me reopen those as we talk about this show. Because remember, guys, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out by heading over to YouTube and hit the subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know we post new videos. That way you know we go live. And that way you know we go post to the community tab. Also, remember, you can help us out by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get access to a badge next to your name, emotes and emojis that you can use in the live chat in the comment section. And you get access to our graphics packages and our graphics tutorials, plus much more. Finally, if you're watching on YouTube, remember that you can hit that super chat button to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air. Finally, head over to the Epic Games Store. Head over to the Epic Games Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PWU Unlimited, for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Whether you're pre-ordering Battlefield 6, pre-ordering Borderlands 4, or getting that new Fortnite Battle Pass next week, use our code PWU Unlimited for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Also, the free games right now, Pilgrims, not sure about that one, and Keylocker, turn-based cyberpunk action. I have seen Keylocker, it looks fun. Pilgrims, I'm not familiar with. Also, I want to say thank you to Mighty Mouth for the super chat. Didn't leave a comment there. If you have a comment, Mighty Mouth, put it in the... Oh, I see now. His comment didn't go with the super chat, but I do appreciate the super chat. He says, who else do you think Cena will face for his remaining matches? That's a tough one. I know there's been talks of Gunther, but Gunther now needs to go away and have nose surgery. He's got a nose issue, and we don't know how long that's going to be. Cena's got 4 months. If Gunther can come back within 4 months, then maybe he fights Gunther. So we don't know. We know he's going to fight Brock. Don't know where. Is that Paris? Is that something else down the line? What do we have? Perth? The Australia show? Crown Jewel? So we know he's going to fight Brock. There's been talks of Gunther. And we'll see where else they go down the line. We maybe need 3 more opponents, I would think. No, well, it depends. If you put Cena in War Games, then you just eliminate having to pick somebody there. He's just part of a War Games team. And then you've got Paris, Perth, and whatever they do in December, I think. Because you've got end of August, September, you got October, November would be Survivor Series, and they're doing something in December. So I think you need, not counting Survivor Series, because I think Cena ends up in War Games to do his first and only War Games. But then you what's the word I'm talking about? You have 3 other opponents. Palpatine, you can't be, in no offense, that dumb. Brock is not under. If Brock can come back, then so can Edge. No. Is Brock Lesnar under contract to another rival wrestling company? No. But Adam Copeland is. Like, you can't be that. And again, I'm sorry to say it, but stupid. It's called being under contract. You really think Tony Khan is going to let Adam Copeland leave and go do a WWE match with John Cena? Everyone would love to see one more Edge versus John Cena match. Of course. It's not going to happen, brubba. And for you to be like, oh, if Brock can come back, Edge can. No, he can't. Tell me, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but tell me, was Brock under contract to a rival wrestling company, another wrestling company that WWE does not work with and does things to screw with? No, he was not. He was still under contract with WWE, basically. For all we know, Brock was still under contract, guys. Brock was still listed on the active roster page all year, since last year. And for everyone to go, oh, they just re-added him. Oh, he hasn't been on there in a while. Oh, no, guys. See what's... Talk about Naomi, okay. But no. To think that means that you don't know how business works, how the real world works, and how the wrestling world works when it comes to being under contract to another company. It's not like Adam Copeland's working for TNA, and TNA will let him come do it. No, it's AEW. It's AEW, their rival, that they just tried to screw over on one of their biggest weekends of the year. You really think that AEW is going to say, sure, Cope, go do it? No. But with all of that, overall, like I said earlier, I thought it was a really good show. Last night I said it was a B+ show. You add the cash in, it's an A-. This, solid A, almost A+. Can't give it a full straight A+. Almost like that close. But I can't give it a full A+ because I was bored during the cage match. I was bored during Solo and Jacob. Like, just plain and simple. That's why I can't give it like an A+. If last night's show was a 3.5, tonight's show was a 4 to 4.5. Just saying. Oh, Triple H is doing something. He's addressing the crowd. Also, Joe Tess kept saying press conference during the press show or post show. He's like, we're going to do the normal press conference here on the post show stage. It's not a press conference because there's no media there asking questions. What is Triple H saying? Hold on. Triple H is talking. Give us a second, guys. He's just thanking the fans for being there. Total attendance throughout the 2 nights, 113,722. I saw a lot of people ask, how is there more people there on night 2 than night 1? Well, for starters, they opened up 4,500-ish more tickets yesterday for tonight. So that's for sure how they had that much money. But they said 1,000 more were there tonight. 10,000 more were there tonight. I don't know about that. Because last night they announced 53. Tonight they announced 63. I don't know about that one. I can maybe see 60, maybe. Triple H is done, though. Oh, that's cool. Is he about to do what I think he's going to do? Oh, shit. So Triple H, the whole time Triple H is up on stage during the post show, they're chanting, water, water. They want him to spit the water. So he spit the water. Then they wanted him to do it again. He goes, stop, guys. I'll do it after. So then he just did it again, dumped out the water, and threw the water bottle to a fan in the front row. Holy shit. Holy shit. So Messi, yes, they have stopped doing for the foreseeable future. They are no longer doing the traditional with media press conferences. Now, instead, everyone that would be at a press conference is just going to be on the post-show stage outside the building. That's the new go. I don't know why. Well, I probably know why. Because they don't want the hard questions, especially tonight. Oh Lord! If John Alba, a Chris Van Vliet, or a John, oh, what's his name? Oh, Pollock were there, oh, they'd get the question, why Brock? And then they talk about the press conference or the what's it called? The lawsuit. So yeah, that's one of the reasons they're not doing them anymore. Plus, probably don't want them stupid. What's your waffle order? Your Waffle House order. But we have a super chat from Jack Dawson. He says, keep up the good work, Tim. How would you rate night 2 of SummerSlam PLE? Do you think they saved Cena and Lesnar for Cena's last match? So, like I said, I thought night 2 was an A, almost A plus, compared to night 1 being an A minus, B to A minus. And do they save Lesnar for Cena's last opponent? No. They're not going to bring Lesnar in, have him F5 John Cena, and then not have to do anything with him or have him work with somebody else till December. That ain't gonna happen. Not a chance. I think the next PLE Cena works. Whether that is Paris, whether that is Australia, it's Brock and Cena. Whether that's a Raw feud or a SmackDown feud, we'll have to wait and see. I can see them wanting Brock on Netflix. But at the same time, I can see them wanting Brock on USA Network to pop those ratings. Because if they tease or even announce Brock Lesnar will be on SmackDown this Friday, you know that's going to do numbers. Yes, you want to get your Netflix numbers up, but doing it on regular TV to get that number up is a big deal as well. So, we do have some bit donations here as well over on Twitch. Esports Gaming Rule says, what a first ever 2-night SummerSlam. Seth cashed in on Punk and had us worked, and Cody is a 2-time WWE champ. And we are shocked that Brock Lesnar is back and is he off the legal issues with lawsuits? Again, we don't know any of that. I've said everything we know about Brock. All we know about Brock is that he's back. Other than that, why, how, when did this come together? Nobody knows. At least yet. No word has gotten out. This was the secret of all secrets, like CM Punk coming back. I think this was even more of a secret than CM Punk because we heard a little scuttlebutt that, Punk can be there in Chicago. Yes, that was more fan chatter because it was Chicago, so everyone just assumed it. And then everyone started saying, see, I knew. But with Brock, nobody had this. Nobody had this. Not a Fightful, not a PW Insider, not an F4W Online Wrestling Observer, not a Post Wrestling. Nobody had this. Post show completely over. Okay, let's close that. Like nobody. And I'm not throwing shade on anybody. I'm just saying that's how big of a secret they kept this. That nobody had it. Like I said, legit goosebumps. I had legit goosebumps. I can show you the picture. I had legit goosebumps. Give me 1 second. Someone sent me something or someone having a kind of little meltdown on Twitter that Brock's back. Like, get the fuck over it. Like, just separate the wrestler from the person. But where's that photo that I took? Like right here. I had legit goosebumps with Brock on my screen. Like legit goosebumps. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit on it. Like, look at that. Goosebumps, hair standing up. God dang. He also says, what did you think of the MLB Speedway Classic? That was postponed because of rain and was resumed today. So I didn't really watch it. I kept up with it and saw some things. I heard it was a big shit show. I heard that they had people seated behind the field in a way where there was a big wall you couldn't see. Then other people sitting in like the suites were too far away to see. They ran out of food like immediately, and traffic was bad. But traffic's always bad getting into Bristol Motor Speedway. Everything else, that's on the MLB. Bristol is such a small town, and the track is in such a small, secluded area that traffic is always bad in and out of Bristol Motor Speedway. But like, you should just know that going into it. Hey, we're gonna have bad traffic because there's always bad traffic here. Just about any racetrack, there's gonna be bad traffic because I mean they had 90,000 people trying to go there yesterday. Granted, not as many showed up today, but they had like 90,000 people trying to go to that game yesterday at Bristol Motor Speedway. Cool nonetheless, though. Very cool nonetheless. I think the NHL is considering putting a hockey game there next. Evers Gaming Rule says, love that the Dudleys and the Hardys are in SummerSlam / NY&J MetLife Stadium. And WWE are promoting their match at TNA Bound for Glory. And TNA announcing it. Yes. So the match is happening one last time. Dudleys versus the Hardys. Bound for Glory in Lowell, Mass. Really cool that they had them there because it was also the 20-year anniversary, I want to say, 25-year anniversary of their first big TLC match. And then he says, glad WWE are promoting Lucha Libre, AAA Worldwide, Triple Mania. Well, they're going to. They're going to go hard because as of August 1st, they own the company now. So it would behoove them to be promoting these shows like it's one of their brands, like it's Raw, like it's SmackDown, like it's NXT. As much as they're pushing NXT and Evolve, they're going to be pushing AAA. Maybe even a little more than they do Evolve. And then he also says, great SummerSlam. He says, I was watching highlights on Instagram and Twitter, and I watched the end of the event. So you didn't really watch the full show? Gotcha. Okay. Anyways. But, yeah, no. Not much more to say about the event as a whole. Again, really, really liked it. Thought the women killed it again. Yes, no Bianca. We had Naomi instead, and it was still fucking great. And that's what kicked off the night. I didn't watch the pre-show, like any of it, because I was watching the NASCAR race, Iowa race, which was an okay race. Like the Iowa race this year, I don't feel like was as good as the Iowa race last year. But as far as, like I said, I didn't see any of the post-show or the pre-show. But as far as this show does go, Naomi had an awesome entrance because her father, who was a professional guitarist, actually got to play her down to the ring. Actually got to play guitar while she came out. That was awesome. So the match starts, and Naomi immediately jumps out of the ring, and she's just like, go. You guys fight. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to work my legs and make sure I'm not stiff before I jump in. And so instead, they worked together, Io and Rhea. Their teamwork came to an end quickly, though, when Rhea went to boot Naomi. Naomi ducked, and she accidentally booted Io. Naomi then took both of them out with a flying crossbody. Naomi was in complete control on both women. And Sky hit Naomi with a springboard drop kick. Sky hit Naomi with a 619, and Ripley hit a German suplex. Ripley and Sky finally went toe-to-toe, and Ripley got the better of it, initially until Sky countered a riptide into a small package. Sky then hit a poison Rana, but Naomi broke up the cover. Ripley then hit Sky with a razor's edge and a power bomb, but Naomi broke up the cover again. Ripley attacked Naomi on the outside, and Sky wiped them out with an acai moonsault. With her opponents now down, Sky hit a big repeated running knee strike. At one point, Ripley wiped out Naomi with a cannonball off the apron after knocking down Io. Sky then caught Ripley, though, and power bombed her. She basically did like a senton. Oh, like, what's it called? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. I'm gonna feel dumb when I don't know this. But anyway, she's like a flip dive over Ripley, grabbed her, and then pulled her off the apron in a powerbomb position and powerbombed her on Naomi on the floor. Cool spot. Sky then went to the top, but Ripley cut her off and eventually hit an avalanche riptide. Ripley had the match won, but Naomi would jump in at the last second, grab Rhea, roll her up, grab a handful of tights, and pin her 1, 2, 3 to retain the title in a 16-minute, 20-second match. I thought they killed it. This was great. This was fun. Not, if I'm going to rank them, though, like this one or the Mania Triple Threat, the Mania Triple Threat was just a little bit better, in my opinion. I would say if the Mania main event was like, woo boy up here, this one was just slightly under it, just a little. But this one was still freaking great. They show some people in the crowd. They got Tyrese Halliburton in a walking boot, Nick Hogan, Michelle McCool. Then they say that they are honoring legends, the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys. Then Michael Cole plugs our TNA Bound for Glory match. Then we have this goddamn, holy crap, wild 6-team TLC match that was more than just the 6 teams because Nikki Cross got involved, Uncle Howdy got involved, Rowan got involved, B-Fab got involved, Candice LeRae almost died. This was awesome. This was great. This was crazy. This was wild. This was holy shit. So the crowd, well, early on, they're just all fighting and going and doing a bunch of things. And there was a spot early on where the Street Profits tried to give Gacy a backdrop on a ladder. Gacy kind of shifted his body weight to the right, it looked like, and he missed the ladder and rolled out of the ring. So the Street Profits grab him and say, nope, we're doing it again. And they backdropped him onto this ladder. They then did the Dudleys get the table spot. And in a very interesting spot or moment or whatever you want to call it, they actually had the tables that had little peg holes on them. So then when they put the table on top of that table, they set it in the peg hole and the tables didn't move on top of the other tables. I don't know if maybe they've had an issue where they were moving too much before. I've never seen an issue. I've never heard a wrestler say there's an issue when you're stacking tables, but they actually put peg holes in the bottom tables, place the top tables on, and then you could see them like putting them in the spot. It was weird, very weird. But the crowd gasped when Phoenix leaped off of the shoulders of Andrade and tried to grab the belts. Oh my God, if we ever see that as a finish, I would love that. Because Phoenix had the match. He had the titles in his hands. He could have grabbed them, but they were stopped. Street Profits cut them off. Phoenix and Andrade then gave them the Three Amigos, and the crowd chanted for Eddie. Tommaso Ciampa then tried to throw Montez Ford into a corner table, but Ford did a crazy dive over the ring corner to a bunch of guys on the outside. Johnny Gargano then put Joe Gacy through a table with a DDT off the ropes, and Dexter Lumis did a splash through Ford onto a table. Phoenix did a crazy top rope frog splash onto Nathan Frazier on the outside, and then holy crap, Axiom and Dawkins. So Dawkins is climbing to the top rope as Tommaso Ciampa, is laying on a table. And it looks like Dawkins is going to splash him through the table, but all of a sudden Axiom comes up and kicks him in the head. But Dawkins stops. Dawkins is like, oh, crap. And so Axiom then gets on the top rope with Dawkins. And they proceed to do a Spanish fly off the top through a table on the floor. Ciampa moves, and they crash and burn. And I'm like, holy shit, that's one of the wildest spots I've ever seen. Goddamn. Like, this was crazy. All of a sudden, Candice LeRae runs down. And Michael Cole's like, wait, do you see who it is? Look who it is. He's like, who is it, Michael Cole? He's like, it's Candice LeRae. And he's like, I bet you've been waiting since Evolution to say that one, Cole. You know, Michael Cole kept calling her Candice Michelle. Anyways, like Candice LeRae then positions the ladder, climbs the ladder like she's going to go grab one of the belts. And then now comes B-Fab to stop her. Nikki Cross then stops them, and they're all fighting and whatnot. So Candice is still up on the ladder, and Johnny Gargano comes down to try and steady it for her. Yet, Montez Ford, then I want to say I just wrote that Montez Ford was there and Gargano got shoved into the ladder, but I want to say Ciampa was involved in this a little bit as well, but I can't fully remember. But anyways, Montez Ford was involved. Somehow Johnny got bumped into the ladder, which then tipped the ladder over. Candice falls from the top of this ladder to the floor, through another ladder, breaking the ladder, crashing on the floor, through a ladder bridge. And I liked, who was it? It might have been, was it Kathy Kelly on the post show? She was like, Candice, that was crazy. You know, we've seen you do crazy things before. We've seen you in front of 10 people in armories and gyms, and now you're here in front of 65,000 people, which it wasn't, but still. Excuse me. Hell of a wild bump. Big E was talking about it on the post show going, Candice LeRae's crazy. We've seen her back in her PWG days just doing anything and everything. And I'm like, God damn, 2 days in a row, this guy first, yesterday, mentions his Ring of Honor. Then today, he's over here mentioning PWG. God dang, Big E. But referees go to check on Candice as Gargano gave her a thumbs up before turning his attention back into the ring like, you okay? You okay? Eric Rowan then jumped in. Not a legal competitor, but it's no DQ, so it doesn't matter. And he attacked Ford and Dawkins. But they fought him off with some chairs and put him through a corner table with a double tackle. Ciampa then grabbed the harness the belts were on, and the Motor City Machine Guns moved the ladder. So Ciampa is hanging there, right? He's hanging. Frazier then sets up a ladder and climbs to the top, and I'm like, oh, they're going to redo the Jeff Hardy Edge spot. No. Instead, Nathan Frazier tries to spear Ciampa, but Ciampa swings his legs up. Frazier misses. Ciampa then goes full Spider-Man upside down, hanging from the ladders. Yeah, or the titles. Yeah, you heard me right. Goddamn, Tommaso Ciampa was hanging upside down from the titles, from the cable that holds the belts up there, for a significant amount of time, I do add. He wasn't just up there for a minute. He wasn't just up there for a quick hot second. He was up there for a good maybe 2 minutes, if not longer. Moments later, a few teams scrambled to separate ladders to grab the belts, but he eventually got down. Just say that. I don't remember how. I didn't write down how. I just wrote that Ciampa Spider-Man upside down, hanging from the ladder, or from the belts. Anyways, Uncle Howdy would jump in the ring and knock everybody down, pushing down ladders and whatnot. That included knocking DIY through the set of tables that were double stacked on the outside. Uncle Howdy then climbed the ladder, and Rey Fenix cut him off. Andrade also followed by giving Dallas a big sunset flip. That's where I was looking for earlier. Sunset flip bomb on a ladder bridge, and he folded up and bounced. Oh. The ladder bridge was maybe just a little too high. Phoenix then climbed the ladder, but Loomis and Gacy took him down with a double finisher. With everybody down, Loomis stayed at the bottom and was watching guard as Joe Gacy climbed up, grabbed the belts, and retained for the Wyatt 6. So, yeah, very cool. Esports Gaming Rules says, I didn't hear your response. I responded to all your stuff, Esports Gaming Rules. You got other questions now here that was not part of that. So, but I responded to everything you said. Also, guys, remember, if you want to get your comment, questions, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat on YouTube or Twitch bits over on Twitch. But yeah, super fun, super crazy, super wild. Worth your way to go back and watch TLC match. First time they've ever done it was six teams, at least in WWE. They then showed Triple H at the White House. Did not hear the live crowd reaction this time. Didn't see anybody posted anything online. So we don't know if they booted again. Probably. They then replayed Seth Rollins cashing in last night, which was freaking amazing. Then we get a video package for the upcoming match. Rhea Ripley. No, not Rhea Ripley. Becky Lynch. Why did I say Rhea Ripley? Oh, I see why I said it. My notes it says Rhea. Never mind. Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. This match is really, really good. This match was good. I liked it. I thought these two worked very well together. Fonzie, I thought it was a little too slow and kind of meh. I'm 4 episodes in, not really liking season 2 of Twisted Metal yet. Hopefully, we get more. But I'm 4 episodes in and not quite liking season 2 like I like season 1. Lynch grabbed a kendo stick early on, but was stunned upon seeing Valkyria present a crowbar. Valkyria smashed the kendo stick out of Lynch's hand and tried to basically kill her with the crowbar. But Lynch avoided it and yelled at Valkyria to not kill her. Valkyria then went right back on offense and tossed Lynch around ringside. There was then an unintentionally funny spot where Valkyria tried tossing Lynch into the barricade, but instead shoved her into an unsuspecting cameraman. Triple H made note of this or later on in the show, going, yeah, we had a lot of carnage in the TLC match, and cameraman couldn't even keep up with it, and cameraman got knocked down and bumped into and all kinds of stuff. I thought that was funny. It was interesting for that and other things. Hair on my glasses that is just impeding my vision. How? Okay, Corey, explain to me. He says, Becky literally screwed both Bayley and Lyra tonight. How? Watching new South Park instead. Not a big South Park fan, to be honest. I'll see it every so often if someone else puts it on. I'll play the video games, so the games are good. But I'm not a guy that's going to go out of my way to watch South Park. I'm just not a big fan of it. It's not my kind of humor. Also, when are we getting the new King of the Hill? Is it tonight at midnight? Or is it midnight Pacific? Whenever it is, oh boy. King of the frickin' Hill tonight. And don't get me started on the new Khan Supanusum voice. I'm a big fan of Ronnie Chang, I want to say his name is, who does the new voice of Khan. Why did you have to recast Khan? I get it. They wanted an Asian person doing the Asian voice. But Toby Huss is still there. Yes, he's the new Dale, but you can do multiple voices because he was doing multiple voices before. Toby Huss was Khan and Cotton. But the new Khan, I think his name's Ronnie Chang or something like that. You guys would know him if you saw him. He's in a bunch of movies. His voice sounds younger, deeper, and less Asian than when Toby Huss did when he was Khonsu Fanusampone. Just gonna say it. Anyways, where was I? Valkyria was right there with some offense and tossed Lynch around ringside. There was, I talked about that. There was the unintentional camera spot. The cameraman acted like nothing happened and sheepishly walked to the other side of the barricade. Valkyria set up a table, and the crowd didn't even care because we saw so many tables. I think they had 6 tables were broken in the, I think we could find it. Let me go back to Peacock really fast. They gave a rundown of how many everything was used in the TLC match. Let me see if we've got the post show back up yet. That's night 1. I want night 2. Yeah, we can't go back and watch night 2 yet. Damn it. I mean, I can get on YouTube, but anyways, there was a graphic WWE posted about what was used in the TLC match. I'll go back and repost it or make my own of it later. Because it's a cool graphic. Anyways, crowd, yeah, was like Lyra pulled out this table and we didn't hear the big pop. Maybe it was because they're in a stadium, we just didn't hear the big pop, or it was like, oh fuck, we saw so many tables just a moment ago. But Lynch grabbed Lyra from behind and wrapped a chain around her mouth. Lynch then shoved her into the steel steps and attacked her repeatedly with a kendo stick. The crowd seemed a little bored here, and Lynch used the kendo stick like a golf club, and they made a Happy Gilmore 2 reference. Lynch then continued to beat down Valkyria using the steel chair, and then a toolbox was introduced. Lynch grabbed some zip ties and zip tied Lyra's hands together, so she was like this. Zip tied her hands together. Very interesting. And then she attacked her with a wrench as well. The wrench spots didn't look good because you could see Becky trying to use the wrench but not hit Lyra, and she was like protecting her, and it was weird. The wrench spot just didn't look good. Valkyria kicked out of a cover at one point despite her hands being tied up. Lynch then followed this up with an exploder suplex. Lynch trapped Valkyria over the ring post and attacked her repeatedly with kendo sticks. Valkyria blocked Lynch's next move and hit a belly-to-belly suplex. Her hands were still taped together. So, the landing didn't look all that great, but it was whatever. Valkyria then fought back with her kicks, and there was a leaping drop kick off of a chair. Valkyria then managed to hit the middle rope moonsault and land with her hands still tied up and go for a pin. She only got 2 off of it. At one point, the referee then helped Lyra out of the zip ties, and I'm like, what are you doing? What? No, you don't help her out of the goddamn zip ties. If it was no DQ, maybe, but you don't help her out of the zip ties. Valkyria then untied the turnbuckle cover, and Lynch drove her into the ring post. Valkyria disappeared under the ring, and when Lynch went after her, Valkyria sprayed her with a fire extinguisher. Valkyria tried using the extinguisher handle to break up the zip ties and eventually got them off. Like, why was the ref helping earlier? Because he didn't even get them off of her. Anyways, her hands are finally free, and she goes on the attack. Lynch had a kendo stick, but it broke. Valkyria drop kicked a chair into Lynch's face and hit a Nightwing for a 2. Valkyria then tried a charge in the corner, but Lynch moved. Valkyria then crashed into the exposed buckle. Lynch followed this up with a manhandle slam onto 2 chairs and got a close near fall. Lynch then trapped Valkyria in a chair and drove her right into the announce table. Like, the chair not just around her neck, it was like around her torso. Crazy. And so she smashes her into the announce table. Valkyria still trapped in the chair. Lynch leaped off the announce table and stomped the chair onto her body, which it sounded great when she did it too. Lynch was then basically going to kill Lyra. She had a crowbar, and she was going to smash it down on Lyra, but out comes Bayley to make the save. Bayley takes the crowbar from Becky and then gets contemplated. Or it's contemplating what to do next, basically. Do I hit Bayley? Or do I hit Becky? Do I hit Lyra? And Becky's like, hit her. And she throws it down. Her and Becky then fight for a moment. And yeah, not much really to this. The Bayley stuff was just kind of there. Lynch avoided a charge and Bayley flew into the crowd. Lynch then tried using a table to get to her feet, while the Valkyria flew in out of nowhere, dove right into her and through the table with a leg drop. As they traded counters in the ring, Bayley tried to punch Lynch with the chain because there was a chain wrapped around her hand, but Becky ducked. Bayley then clocked Lyra with it instead. Lynch hit her with a manhandle slam and pinned her to pick up the victory. So technically, Bayley cost Lyra. And as long as Becky is the champion, Lyra can no longer challenge for the Women's World Championship or the Women's IC Championship. I think she should go for the Women's World Championship now, though. Just saying. So that is the whole thing. Now they can do the whole Bayley shouldn't have come out there. Bayley had no right to do that. And in turn, Bayley screwed Lyra. So, yeah, Becky's still the champion. I think it was the wrong move. I think it should have been Lyra winning the belt back, give her a big win on a big stage. But, hey, they got to have a plan, I guess. Let me turn this fan on. It's getting a little warm in this room. Also, I didn't pay much attention to it, but what did you guys think of Becky's new theme? Again, like I said, I didn't pay too much attention to it myself. So, yeah, I thought it sounded all right. It had a little Irish jig sound at the beginning, but other than that, it was okay. Vs Gaming Rule says, will you review Triple Mania after the show? Now it is Triple H's first show as an official part of WWE TKO. Probably not. I got to see exactly when it is again, and I might be busy that day. As we move on, it's time for the cage match. Cage is coming down. They show some fans or some celebrities in the crowd, including Jelly Roll, Metro Boomin. I wouldn't have known who this guy is unless WWE, because they've shown him in a number of shows now. So I'm like, I guess I know who this guy is. He was in those commercials. Was he the one in the commercials for Bad Blood with Cody? I want to say he was. I could be wrong. And they also showed new starting quarterback for the New York Giants, Russell Wilson. Didn't show any Jets. They showed him. Chase says, according to Triple H, Cena asked for Brock. Where'd you get that info from? Triple H wasn't going to just say that on the post show. Where'd you get that info from, Chase? If you've got a link or a source or something, send it to me on Twitter at PW Unlimited, at Timmy Buddy, and let me know. Because I don't know where you would have got that from. Because I highly doubt Triple H said that on the post show. I could be wrong, but I don't see that being something Triple H would say. But as far as the cage match does go, I was bored with this the entire way through. 2 minutes in, I realized I'm not even paying attention. I'm like, oh shit, I need to write more notes. That's how bored I was with Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu in a cage. So Cole tried to put over Sikoa by saying that he hasn't been pinned since losing to Roman Reigns in January. He's had 4 singles matches, and I'm like, yeah, he hasn't done anything to get pinned. Fuck. Esports Gaming Rules says, looks like it is, quote, open season on Travis Scott and maybe The Rock for WWE. Open season how? I don't understand that one. I know Travis Scott, him and WWE had a falling out. Like, let me tighten up this microphone. It keeps drooping on me, as you guys can see. Like, apparently, he wasn't smartening up enough to the business. Of course, trust me, bro. Yeah, no. Trust me. I had plenty of people trust me, bro, today DMing me. Rock coming back. You know it. You know it. I could guarantee it. I had like 5 people DMing me on Instagram and Twitter. You know Rock coming back tonight, right? Hey, we should post the Rock's coming back. We all know it. You know it. Yeah, I know it. It's a fact. I had one guy ask if Undertaker was going to be involved because he was at the show. What? Anywho, as far as the cage match does go, Sikoa had the early advantage using the cage as a weapon. Fatu did fight back, and when Sikoa tried driving him into the cage, Fatu no-sold it. Fatu then hit a running hip attack and consecutive moonsaults, but only to get a near fall. The MFT then all come down, and they start surrounding the ring. And so they surround the ring, and, well, out comes Jimmy Uso to try and fight off these 3 guys. And let me see. Chase did send me something on Twitter. Let's go check what Chase sent really fast. Like, if Triple H did say it on the post show, then I'll apologize and be wrong. But let's see. Okay, that's not. Triple H said, quote, "One of the first things I said to him, Cena, is who do you want and how? And we're working through that." I don't know if that means Cena asked for Brock. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. To me, that doesn't sound like Cena asked for Brock. That's more of people assuming and trying to put that in a context that they want to put it in, to be completely honest. Because if you even read what they wrote, Triple H states that John Cena essentially wanted Brock Lesnar. That's just as bad as assuming. Using the word essentially is just as bad as assuming. And in this job, you don't assume. Because you know what assuming does. It makes an ass out of you and me. And it ain't going to make an ass out of me. So, no, not Corey, Chase. I don't see that as Triple H saying that Cena asked for Brock. Whether he did or not, okay. But that quote there does not confirm that or anything. Give me 1 second to go back here to the YouTube chat. There we go. So Jimmy Uso comes out and tries to take on these guys, and he kind of gets it, but kind of doesn't. Eventually, Tala Tonga grabs him, drives him into the cage, drives him into the announce table. Jimmy's dead. Jimmy's gone. Jimmy's whatever. Fatu trying to escape out the top of the cage, but he really couldn't. Solo then brought him down with a Simone Spike and got a near fall off of it. So they do this spot here, which is just dumb. In the last match, we had zip ties, which is basically like handcuffs. And in this match, we had handcuffs because Solo is down. Jacob's trying to climb the cage. And then Tala Tonga and Tonga Loa climb to the top of the cage as well. And they handcuff Jacob to the top of the cage. And I'm like, you just saw a handcuff spot in the last match, basically. Granted, it's a zip tie, so it's different. But it's basically, yeah, anyways. So JC Mateo, seeing this, opens up the door and he's like, Solo, let's go, let's go, let's go. Also, god damn, have they made Jeff Cobb look just like a nothing since coming to WWE. Jeff Cobb has looked so weak, so dumb, so bastardized. And like, come on. It's Jeff fucking Cobb. And you've turned him into JC bitch boy Mateo. And so we don't see it, but apparently Fatu just ripped the handcuffs free. And yeah, he escapes and he goes after Solo and stops him. Fatu then smashed the door in Mateo's face, but Tala Tonga smashed the door back in Fatu's face. Solo slips out of the ring, falls to the floor, and wins the match. Okay. Cool. I was so fucking bored with this match. Like, it might have been, I was probably less enthused and less entertained and less drawn in for this match than Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. Yeah, just saying. But there's a little post-match. So Solo goes to leave. Tonga goes to leave with him. Jimmy Uso reappears and throws JC Mateo into the cage. Tonga Loa is in the cage, and basically Jacob Fatu beats them both down, whips their asses. They get to their feet. He climbs to the top, hits a big moonsault, and there we go. So yeah, they let Jacob stand tall at the end, but Solo is still U.S. champion. Also, the ladder match went 16 minutes. Becky and Lara went 25, and this match went 12:40. We got 2 matches left. And the next match up is Dominic Mysterio defending the Intercontinental Championship against AJ Styles. Now, Dominic gets a normal entrance. He's got the mask on. He pulls the mask off, whatever. But AJ gets a special entrance. And Dom pointed out something on the post show that I didn't even realize. So AJ gets a special Eddie Guerrero style entrance. He also wore Eddie inspired gear. But he came out on a lowrider with one of his sons. Now his son has got bleach blonde hair. And when Dom was on the post show, this cracked me up. This is how great Dom is. And Dom's just on the fly, too, this fucker. They're on the post show, and they're like, Dom, look at this. This is AJ's entrance. What did you think of it? He's like, yeah, it's whatever. AJ coming out here thinking he's Eddie. What he's got there? Me from 2005? I'm like, wait, oh my God, yes. Because AJ's son had the bleach blonde hair. Just like Dom did during the I'm Your Poppy storyline. The same bleach blonde hair. And when Dom said that, he's like, who's AJ got? Me from 2005? He popped himself, he popped the guys on the table, and he popped me. Dominic is a fucking treasure, ladies and gentlemen. And if anyone ever slanders this guy's name, no, don't. He's here for decades to come, and I'm here for it. But as far as the match does go, there were dueling chants for both men early on. The sun had really set here now eventually, and so fans were waving their cell phones. You can actually see the lights off of them. Dom was in control early on until AJ hit a tornado DDT. Styles held control until Dom ducked a phenomenal forearm and hit a Michinoku driver. Dom tried the three amigos, but Styles countered the last one into a brainbuster. Styles went for a frog splash, but Dom got his knees up. Dom hit a 619 and went for the frog splash, sort of, because AJ caught him and then applied a calf crusher until Dom got to the ropes to break the hold. Dom at one point removed the turnbuckle pad to distract the referee. As the ref fixed the buckle, Dom grabbed a chair and tried to do the Eddie spot where he's like, slam it on the ground, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to throw it to my opponent and drop down, right? Use the chair on me. But AJ takes it one step farther and goes, wait, and he puts the chair over his head and he drops down. So the referee turns around and goes, they're both down. But he's got the chair around his neck. What the hell? So I liked that AJ tried to outsmart Eddie or Dom with the Eddie spot, with his own Eddie spot, basically. So the ref doesn't know exactly what to do. The match simply just continues from there, which is kind of weird. The ref didn't know who was guilty, so he didn't do anything. Styles applies a calf crusher at one point, but Dom's boot slips off in the process. And this is a callback to Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, WrestleMania 20, where Kurt Angle puts Eddie Guerrero in the ankle lock, and Eddie wriggles his foot out of the boot. So then Kurt falls down, takes the bump, and Eddie comes and capitalizes. And it's the same thing. Dom unzipped the boot. AJ was going for a move. Dom wriggled out of the boot, and it led to the finish. The ref almost got bumped here, but it was all good. Dom hit Styles with the boot. Dom then followed this up with a frog splash and pinned AJ to pick up the victory. So, yeah, I really enjoyed this match. I thought this was great, and Dom Mysterio is awesome. I mean, I wouldn't call this a 5-star classic. I wouldn't even call it a 4-star match. 3.5, yes. But it was still a good little palate cleanser between all this other Carnage matches and what we got in the main event. So, match went 10 minutes and 45 seconds. Then they said, the icon, Stephanie McMahon, is in the ring. She announces that the attendance for tonight's show is 60,651, which was, I want to say, 7,000-ish more than last night. And a total, well, what was last night again? Hold on. What was last night again? Let me see. Hold on. Last night was 53. This was 60. I thought they said 63. Okay, never mind. Go with 7,000. With a total for both nights, 113,722. Now, again, I'm not the guy that's going to go compare AEW to WWE, WWE to AEW. But AEW was only able to get 26,000 in a 45,000 seat building. WWE, now granted, they didn't fill this building up, but they got as much as they could with the stage and everything like that. WWE got over 50,000 for both nights. Just saying. For everyone saying the WWE is dying off and AEW is more hot and da-da-da-da-da. No. Tell me, what shows you that AEW can do 50,000 2 nights in a row in the same building? When that is, what's the math on that? So AEW was at about 55% capacity for Globe Life Field. And with WWE, let's see, say they did 55. We'll average it out. 55,000. It's an 82,000 seat building. Oops, I times it. 55 divided by Why is it not dividing? WWE had this building almost 70% full. So when you take out the, I don't know, 20% for stage and everything for both, really they had this and what they could have done. They had this at 80 of what they could have done. They could have probably got another 20% of people in there. AEW, you add that 20% to their 55, they probably could have got another 40%. So everyone's saying, look what AEW did. Look what WWE did. They didn't fill their building either. Yeah, but they got a lot more. What if AEW ran the same building? I highly doubt that they could have got 50-something thousand. I highly doubt it. So anyways. As far as the main event does go, Cody got a cool entrance. I didn't write it down, but they actually had Dusty's voice speaking, and then they had the words up on the screen, and then like black and then the yellow polka dots, which is really cool. Which it's like, Dusty didn't do the polka dots for that long, but everyone just fucking remembers him with the polka dots. Now, I don't know. So I saw some people online asking if this was AI of Dusty's voice. I don't think it was. I think this is a recording of something Dusty has said in the past. Rhodes did his thing through the Cody Vader and all that. His music hits. John Cena comes out. Before Mania, we finally get a true John Cena entrance. He's got graphics. He's all hyped up. He's running on both sides of the ramp, and it's babyface versus babyface. And he's wearing his Blue Giants gear. So, try not to sneeze right into the mic. So, Cody gets a very, very mixed reaction during his intros, and Cena gets a big pop and cheer. As far as the match does go, they hug it out early on, and they cut the camera right to the same shot when John turned on Cody, but he didn't this time. So they're fighting early on. The fight quickly falls to the floor, and there were some boos when Rhodes slammed Cena into the steps. Cena recovered and approached Tyrese Halliburton, who gave him a "you can't see me," and then handed him a crutch to use on Rhodes. Rhodes fought back and slammed Cena into the steel steps again, which was now in the ring. Rhodes was on the outside of the ring. Cena grabbed the steps and threw them into Rhodes. Cena did this before to Bray Wyatt and nailed Bray right in the face. And like we heard, he hit him hard. So, hopefully he didn't hit Cody hard in the face. Anyways, the steps appeared to catch Rhodes' lower lip, and he sold his arm for the next couple of minutes. Fans tried to sing Cody's name at this point to rally him up, but it didn't really pick up much of the crowd. Cena and Rhodes grabbed chairs. Rhodes managed to hit Cena with his fist. Cena then hit his usual comeback, and the crowd went nuts. Cena hit 5-knuckle shuffle, and Rhodes avoided an attitude adjustment. Rhodes then followed this up with a clothesline, some jabs, bionic elbow, and the crowd booed. I'm like, oh, damn. One fan even had the audacity to chant, same old shit, at Rhodes. When I'm like, what? Cena's out here doing the 5 moves of doom. But Rhodes hit a Cody cutter for a 2 at one point, and Cena followed this up with an AA for a 2 of his own. Then there were like, you can't wrestle chants, and you can't see him responses. Or you can't, or yes, he can. So there's, you can't wrestle, yes, he can. You can't wrestle, yes, he can, which was very weird. So Rhodes hit a disaster kick and another Cody cutter for a 2. Cena then hit an electric chair and got a 2 off of it. Rhodes then hit a pile driver, and commentary went wild. That move's outlawed. That move's banned, but not in the street fight, because there are no rules. Crowd starts chanting, you can't do that. You can't do that. Which was funny. Rhodes seemed unsure of how to proceed after that one, as he was trying to listen to the crowd and didn't get the reaction he thought. He hesitated, which allowed Cena to hit an AA. Rhodes then hit a sit-out powerbomb for a 2, and Cena quickly applied an STF until Rhodes escaped. Rhodes then sent Cena over the barricade before Cena bonked Rhodes with a microphone, just thump, right in the top of the head. Cena followed this up with a code red on the floor. You heard me right. Cena hoisted Rhodes up on his shoulders and put him through the unbreakable announce table off of the other announce table, and Cody almost missed the announce table here. Cena then struggled to get Rhodes back into the ring, and this extra time did allow Cody to gain some momentum to kick out, basically. At least says, where's this hate from Cody coming from? Because right now it's Cena's final year, and everyone just wants to cheer everybody, Cena over everybody. That's what it is. They just want to cheer Cena over everybody. Rhodes sent, like I said, Rhodes pushed Cena back. Cena sent Rhodes back into the ring, but he went for the pin, and Cody kicked out. Cena then missed a charge in the corner, and Rhodes hit a crossroads for a near fall. Cena knocked Rhodes off the ropes and followed this up with a diving leg drop and an AA for a near fall. Cena set up a table in the ring and went for an AA, but Rhodes tipped over the table and countered with a DDT. He got a 2 off of it. Rhodes then set up a table in the corner, but both managed to avoid going through it for now. We're past the 20-minute mark here as the match itself went 37.5. They found themselves fighting in the crowd at this point. Cena grabbed a steel bike rack, but Rhodes suplexed him onto it. I guess it's more a guardrail. I don't know why I wrote bike rack. Like one of those where you put your bikes into it. It's a guardrail. I don't know why I wrote bike rack. The brawl continued, and they disappeared under the big stage. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And basically, Michael Cole says, hey, the area down there is too small to get a camera in. So hopefully we don't see any. Well, they could have a different camera. Anyways. And so hopefully we see what's going on here momentarily. And they're, I guess, supposed to be fighting under the stage. But all of a sudden, we see the Cody Vader open. It starts to rise, and it's Cena with Cody on his shoulders coming up through the Cody Vader. I thought this looked cool as shit. This was fucking cool. Smoke is coming through it and everything. It's like, holy damn. Yeah, buddy. So Cena then dumped Rhodes. He literally just boom, chucked him down the ramp. Cody slid a bit. It was pretty funny. Cena then hoisted Rhodes on his shoulder and carried him all the way down to the ring because Cena was not getting up. Barrett noted how difficult that must be this long into the match, as both men are winded and tired, and Cena looks exhausted. Rhodes then drove him into the corner table that they had set up earlier, crossroads, but only got a near fall. And this is when I go, this match is a fucking Paul Heyman special. I don't know it for sure, but this feels like it's got Paul Heyman all over it, the way this match is laid out and the booking of it. This feels like a Paul Heyman, Michael Hayes collaboration. All the big kickouts at the last second and the table spots and the Cody big AA on the ramp spot. That just all feels like Heyman and Michael Hayes. Rhodes bonked Cena in the head with a steel chair at one point. He just grabbed the chair. Cena tried to get him on the outside. Cody was on the outside. He bonk. Then he goes over and starts unscrewing the turnbuckle. And the ref's looking at him like, what are you doing? I can't stop you, but what the hell? And he finally takes it off, and he's got this turnbuckle, right? It's got the spiked end on it. Not the spiked end, but the end that you screw in. And he's like, John, stay down. And the crowd starts booing because they know what's about to happen. And Cena gets to his feet, and Cody's just like, he doesn't want to do it. Michael Cole goes, this has been a reoccurring role this year, not just going for it, hesitating. It's hurt so many people this year. And he bonks Cena with it. And the crowd booed. Rhodes showed some regret, and Cena started stirring again and gets to his feet. And Cody's like, John, I don't want to do it. I don't. And he pops him again. No. This one no, never mind. No, yeah. Pops him again. When Cody got to go for a third time, that's when Cena avoided it, dropped him with a drop toe hold, put him in the STF, using the bottom rope to try to choke Cody, but he never got it in as Cody held it off and got out of it. Rhodes then avoided an AA and a consecutive crossroads. The crowd was exacerbated at this point, not knowing what's coming next, just all these big pop-outs and kick-outs and whatnot. Rhodes hit his finish one more time after hitting him multiple times, but again, Cena kicked out, and the crowd starts chanting, Super Cena, Super Cena. Rhodes then grabbed the title belt, in which he used it as a weapon, but Cena ducked it and hit consecutive AAs. Cena grabbed Rhodes and hit an AA off the middle rope, but Cody kicked out. Cena set up another table in the ring, but Rhodes blocked the avalanche AA attempt. Rhodes instead hit an avalanche Cody cutter through the table. Cody then gave Cena a salute one final crossroads, and pinned him to become your and new WWE Undisputed Champion. Well, the match is over. Cody wins. They embrace, and they're stalling for time. These two men are stalling. And I'm like, what is about to happen? Are we going to hear If You Smell? What is going down? Who is coming out? Because you could tell something else was about to happen because they're stalling for time. So they embrace, they raise each other's hands. Cena goes, yeah, Cody Rhodes, give it up for him. And Cody leaves and says, I'm leaving the ring to you, John. So Cody leaves, they play John Cena's music or whatever, and then Brock Lesnar's music's playing, ladies and gentlemen, and Cena's just like, what? Commentary's going crazy. They're losing their minds. I'm got goosebumps. I'm sitting here going, no, this ain't real. And Brock comes out. Cowboy hat, longish kind of hair, but it's super curly, looking dope as a mullet. And Brock Lesnar walks out. He gets up on the stage. They do the Brock entrance where the guy on the ramp with the cameras does the run-in zoom on Brock. Always looks very dope when they do that shot. And Brock does the thing. He slowly comes down to the ring. He walks down, makes his way down to the ring. He circles the ring, and Cena's just looking at him like, all right. He pulls up the goddamn the pad or whatever you want to call it, the wrist deal that he's got on his. He's like, all right, Brock wants to come in and fight. I'm gonna fight. And Brock jumps into the ring. Cody goes for a clothesline. Brock ducks it, turns around, grabs John, got him on his shoulders. He turns around. Brock knows, look at that fucking hard camera first. Ooh, boom, F5. Brock jumps up. He's like the fucking Incredible Hulk. And then he gets out of there. And then he leaves before giving one last back to the camera as he walks back into the back. And I'm sitting here just going, oh, damn. God damn. Brock Lesnar's back, ladies and gentlemen. Brock Lesnar has returned to WWE. So the camera then goes back to John Cena, and then we fade out as the show goes off the air, and then immediately we come back for the post-show, and the cameras are still on John. We see Cena. And also let me we'll do it here in a second. We see Cena, and he's what's the word I'm looking for? He's getting out of the ring, and his music's playing, and he's just like, cut the music, cut it. I don't deserve this, right? Cut the music. I don't want it. He's like, just cut the music, and he slowly walks away. He slowly leaves and walks off. He doesn't want his music playing. And then they cut to Joe Test and all of them on the kickoff, the post show. So yeah, very interesting, very crazy, very wild. But with that, we also got to hear about our sponsor of this podcast. That's AECOOLY. Let's hear from them right now. Does the summer heat got you sweating through your shirt before noon? Maybe it's time to chill with an AECOOLY handheld fan. This pocket-sized powerhouse is your secret weapon against scorching temps. Whether catching rays listening to music or just looking to get a great tan, it brings the breeze right when you need it. With 3-speed settings, a rechargeable battery that lasts up to 10 hours, and a whisper-quiet motor, the AECOOLY fan delivers cool comfort without the buzz or bulk. Toss it in your bag, clip it to your desk, or have it right by your side at all times. It's compact, stylish, and oh so convenient. So why melt when you can breeze through summer? Use our link in the description below, scan the QR code on the screen, or head over to pwunlimited.co/AECOOLY. That's AECOOLY now for coolin' in the palm of your hand. So with all of that, Brock Lesnar's back, and I was trying to look to see if anybody's reported anything since the show, and I don't see anything right now. Don't see anybody with like any news on why Cena or why Brock's back, how Brock's back, what came of this, what brought this up, and so if we do get anything overnight and whatnot, we'll talk about it tomorrow morning. Well, not morning, but like afternoon-ish time, Central Time. So around Central Time, noon Central Time, we are bringing back, starting tomorrow, the Wrestling Wrap-Up. Wrestling Wrap-Up is going to be my 45-minute news show. We're going to do it Mondays and Fridays, and we should be fun. So if we do get any info on like Brock or anything coming out of SummerSlam, we will talk about it on that show tomorrow. Again, that airs just like this show on YouTube, Twitch. And then it'll be available on audio platforms afterwards as well. So don't forget, wrestling wrap-up coming back tomorrow. Again, also, for all y'all people, I'm going to pull this up on the screen really fast, actually, saying, oh, they just recently added Brock back to the active roster page. No, because if you go to the Wayback Machine, which I'm going to do here, look at this. January 17th, 2025, Brock Lesnar on the active roster page. April 18th, 2025, Brock Lesnar on the active roster page. June 20th, 2025, Brock Lesnar on the active roster page. So everyone's saying they foreshadowed it. They told us Brock was coming back because they just added him back to the roster, the active roster. No, they didn't. People keep doing this. This happens like every couple of months. Brock's back on the active roster. Brock was never off the active roster. So, yeah, we'll see where it leads to, but with that, you guys know what I thought of the show. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of SummerSlam Night 2. So let's go and refresh all those polls really fast. Let me see. Why am I not seeing the wrong account? That's why. Let's go here. Refresh all the polls if they want to, because for some reason they don't want to. That's weird. That posted twice. As far as the threads poll does go, 82% liked tonight's show. 15% thought it was just all right, and 3% didn't like it. Looking at the Twitter X poll, 79% liked the show, 10% thought it was just all right, and 10% didn't like it. Looking at the community poll, 86% liked the show, 11% thought it was just all right, and 4% didn't like it. As far as the live poll does go, 83% liked the show, 14% thought it was just all right, and 3% didn't like it. And finally, everybody that voted on Twitch liked the show. No, take that back. We got another vote. 83% liked it. 17% thought it was just all right. So with all of that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, don't forget that tomorrow we will, around noon Central Time, we'll be live with the wrestling wrap-up. Then we got the Raw review coming up tomorrow night as well. So again, guys, have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.